You know, we often wonder, what's the meaning of life? Does it have a meaning? Does it have a purpose? Often people try to escape it. That's what drugs, pornography, media, ego, it's all the same thing. It's all about escaping, running away from truth, running away from the real purpose and meaning because it feels so empty. It feels meaningless. And we don't like to feel empty. We don't like to feel meaningless. We like to feel full. It's like there's a spiritual hunger, just like you have a physical hunger. You have a spiritual hunger. You see, the spiritual hunger is for the soul. The physical hunger is for the body. So what do we hunger for? We hunger for truth because we come from truth. We are truth. But when we don't act in truth, then we don't feel truthful. You see, normalcy is when your behavior and your ideals are the same. So if I think I should stop smoking, but I don't, I have a conflict within me. And if I think I should be a good person and fulfill God's wishes for me, and I don't, I have a conflict within me. And so there are many people that unfortunately they're just so messed up that they promote negative lifestyles, whether it's the bizarre lifestyle of the gays, and not to judge them, but it's certainly not productive. If everyone was gay, we wouldn't live for one generation. So God created this world to make us God. That's the secret. The secret is that He gave us a choice. Do you want to be like an animal that lives for itself and dies and is not remembered by anybody? It's gone because all of its life was selfish. It had no meaning. It had no value. A tree that comes and goes, a flower, piece of grass, bacteria. In your gut right now, there are 30 trillion cells of bacteria. Every 20 minutes they die. Every 20 minutes, another 30 trillion have come and gone. Doesn't matter. Anyone know about them? Did they make a difference? So the truth is that everything makes a difference. If it's in God's world, it makes a difference. God didn't make anything that doesn't make a difference. But for ourselves, He gave us the choice to make a difference. And that's the meaning. The meaning of life is, will I make it meaningful? And nobody out there, there's no body of wisdom except for the Torah, except for God's wisdom transmitted accurately to Moses, to the sages. If I may include myself, because I'm a rabbi, received it. And in fact, it was an even deeper wisdom, Kabbalah. And it's all about being like God. I heard a beautiful line today. And the line comes from the head of a Beth in a Jewish rabbinical court. We're discussing why today there's so much freedom, there's so much unhappiness, there's so much, if you want to call it sex, but there's so little love, so little marriage, so little commitment. Why? So he said that the Jewish word for love is exactly opposite the secular word for love. When I say love in the secular world, I'm saying I want something. But when I say love in the Jewish context, Ava, it is the exact opposite. Ava comes from the word have, to give. So you see, when I say love in Judaism, I say I want to give to you. When God loves us, he wishes to give to us. Let me tell you how God has given to us. Everything in this world, we're tiny minds. We can hardly understand anything. Science has proven we don't understand anything. That's the science themselves that understand that they don't understand. I had a friend, Dr. Paul Wildman from Geneva, and he went around the world. He told me he was the highest paid student in the world. He supervised the study of all the universities in Switzerland. He has 3 PhDs. When he got back, he gave a lecture on the limit of human intelligence. Because we've reached the point, they call it E, we know we don't know. Nobody knows how DNA splits. We can see it, but we don't know how that happens. That's like, imagine a 5,000 page volume encyclopedia, 5,000 volumes, not 5,000 pages. 5,000, imagine a encyclopedia, maybe it's 30 volumes, now imagine 5,000 volumes. Imagine in a single second, it splits itself in half, and half creates the other half, and the other half creates the other half, and there are 2 encyclopedias now. That's what DNA does every single second. Millions of cells are born every single second around the world. It's countless. So something is making it all happen. It's not me, it's not you. So, in the end of the day, the fact is that in the beginning, the Holy One, the first one, from love. Love means I wish to give, not from taking, but from giving. Who do you wish to give to? Someone you admire. You see, this is a great secret. Few know this. God admires you. You may not admire yourself, but God admires you. Why? Because you're admirable. You have wonderful qualities. Somebody may have been jealous of you and they shamed you, but anybody that's healthy, that hasn't been shamed, admires themselves. It's the most natural thing to do. God admires you. In fact, he may admire us more than he admires himself, because we are challenged. For us, it's hard, and for him, it's easy. And so, he wished that we should overcome the challenges. We can create ourselves into permanent givers from permanent takers. And to do this, he created a world. And our natural world, many of our role models are takers, so we think that's okay. But then he gave us some role models. They're called tzaddikim, Abraham, Moses, that they were givers. He gave us the Torah, a body of wisdom that teaches us how to be kind and nice and civil. And then he put us in freedom, our modern age. And he said, be like me, become me, be a giver. And so if you want to live a life of truth and happiness, just be like God. Just love unconditionally. It doesn't matter what people do for you. It matters what you do for people. It doesn't matter if they love you. It matters if you love them. And if we just do this, we do this in our relationships, we'll have amazing relationships, because hearts are mirrors. If I feel from you unconditional love, as a rabbi, I go to a lot of different places. And I once went to the place that I felt the most love. It was a place, I think it was Down syndrome. It was like a home for Down syndrome for older people. But they had so much love for me automatically. They could give me nothing. But I felt their love. See a little child and the child smiles at you. You know it can give you nothing, but you feel it's unconditional love. Ever had a baby fall asleep on you? Unconditional trust. It's beautiful. It's an amazing feeling. And we all have the most amazing gift to love unconditionally. In order to do so, we have to overcome fear. Because when we're afraid, our whole instinct is stay away. And we create these cockamamie ideas why this person is bad. But if you can wake up every morning and thank God for your blessings, you'll start to feel confident. If there's genuine danger, you have to get out of it. But hopefully the environment is okay, and you just need to add gratitude so you're not jealous and frustrated. And then you have to realize that everything is one. The universe is one. You see this where I'm pointing to? Let me see if I can point to. I'm pointing to right here. See that light? It's kind of I don't know how to describe it. It's a, this is the energy of the universe. It's constantly pulsating. It's a wave. This is energy. And the energy, there's only one God that made everything. We're all different forms of energy. Even your body, you don't realize it's energy, but it's made up of atoms. It's energy. Our souls certainly are, and everything's energy. We're all the same energy, but we're all special and unique. And so when we realize that, we realize that even though we're all one, but I can give to you unconditionally. And that's all we have to do. I was thinking today about this, all the politics and the negativity. How do we overcome this? Einstein wrote a great letter. He said there's one force that made everything. It's called the force of love. God is love. It's unconditional. He doesn't ask questions if you deserve to be born. He creates you. He gives you opportunity. And the greatest gift you can give yourself in the world is love, and give with no conditions. And if you do that, you cannot not be happy. Don't worry about what anyone will say, because that's the Satan, which wants to confuse you. Anybody that says anything bad, they're just jealous that you're happy. Help them out more. They need love even more. And together, these unconditional acts, they serve as the source code, because what we do below gets cycled into God. It's like the blood comes from the heart, but it goes back to the heart. Gets cycled into the source code, and it comes down again. So if you choose to unconditionally love, unconditionally give, you will bring that energy into the source code, and then God Himself will bring the state of infinite goodness. We're all looking forward. It will happen soon, a messianic revelation that there will be infinite goodness in the world. Infinite, every level, physical, spiritual. But it's up to you, up to me. Let us make a resolution today, basically an amazing day, the 9th of a day of incredible opportunity, incredible power, that no matter what anyone says or anyone does, we will be the ones to be like God, to be God on earth, to love unconditionally, to give unconditionally, and the world will become its destiny.